life is so simple. It is like, if we quote from the Bible, the flower that blooms in the morning and withers away in the evening. And as Lord Rama says, Tvang mamsa rektasti vinmutra redasam sammelanam panjabhudaga nirmidam. That is, our body is perilous. It takes not even seconds to wither away. It is, in Lord Rama's words, it is Chana Prabha Chanchalam. It is like the flash of a lightning. At one moment it is seen, and at the next we don't know where it has gone. It is so short and so simple, and realizing this, sensing this, we learn a lesson, and that seems to be the core of the second paragraph of this lesson, what Pearl S. Buck highlights. Non-violence is the only common sense of human beings. Non-violence is the only common sense of human beings. As I said earlier, in the third paragraph, Pearl S. Buck says, our leaders confuse violence to be power. Truth is the most fundamental of all, and our life is perilous, it is very short, it is very simple, and so why should we resort to violence? It has been, from time immemorial, a very powerful but simple question that human race has been facing. To get you a clearer idea, let me read out the second and third paragraphs. Gandhi was only one. His voice was single, always gentle, always reasoning. It was the voice of conscience in a turbulent life. He was right. He knew he was right. We all knew he was right. The man who killed him knew he was right. However long the follies of the violence continue, they but prove that Gandhi was right. Non-violence is the only common sense for human beings. We die so easily. Our bodies are soft and unprotected. The brain, the heart, the soul are perilously launched. We cannot wait for peace to be made, for arguments to be settled, for the quarrelsomeness of selfish men to subside. Before that settlement comes, life is over. At all costs, Gandhi said, we must refuse to use violence. Resist to the very end, he said, but without violence. To a world confusing violence with power, these words seem too simple to be true. Yet, truth is always simple. Men wind confusions and entanglements because they are afraid of simple truth. But truth is not changed. It is still simple. It is more fundamental than the atom itself. Moving on to the next paragraph, Pearl S. Buck analyzes the situation under which Nathuram Vinayak Godse was after the assassination of Gandhi. He was imprisoned and he was spending his days behind the bars, heavily guarded. Now, Pearl S. Buck says, Gandhi wouldn't have liked it. He wouldn't have agreed with the idea of putting his assassin behind the bars. And he would be definitely for setting him free. Now, imagine a situation where this man was set free. If he comes out of the prison, will he be accepted by the community? Will he be a companion to those forces of darkness, those agents of silence, which used him as an instrument to murder Gandhi? No, an emphatic no is the answer. He will never be accepted by the community, by the society. His friends would reject him from their circle. Mothers wouldn't ever let their children go near him. His family wouldn't accept him into their midst. His own conscience, of course, he also had a conscience. His conscience would definitely blame him for silencing the voice of truth, perhaps the only voice of truth. So, even if he is set free, the spirit of Gandhi would haunt him, says Paul S. Buck. And finally, he would find life a miserable one, and he would be succumbing helplessly to the inevitable. Now, Paul S. Buck is throwing a question to the Indians, the very Indians whom Gandhi loved. He is saying, the world is longing, she is saying, the world is longing for goodness. And that is to come from the land where Gandhi lived. Even though powerful leaders, the politicians, the bureaucrats are boasting about the power, the weapons they have, the economic power, the world is longing for goodness. These boastfulness cannot satisfy the world's desire for peace and non-violence. As I said earlier, there were some agents of silence, the forces of darkness, who were using Godse as an instrument to silence Gandhi forever, or to silence the voice of truth forever. But whatever they did would never satisfy the world's longing for peace. It is not violence that the human race craves for. It is peace. And being the land which gave birth to a person who was the incarnation of truth and non-violence, India has the moral responsibility to grant that goodness, radiate peace to the world. And India should have the courage to carry out the holy mission entrusted by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Let us wind up the lesson reading the rest of the paragraphs. The world longs for goodness. The people search for righteousness. There is no weapon, no bomb so powerful as the force of a great good spirit. India will live and become great in our world only as her people use this priceless force, the force of non-violence, which the life of Gandhi exemplified for them. In that personal example was Gandhi's secret. He did what he told others to do. When people saw that this was true, they believed in him. Gandhi has done his part. It now remains for the people of India to take upon themselves his world leadership for non-violence. Indeed, it is the only way in which India can fulfill the promise of her greatness. Of violence, the world is sick. By hatred and quarrels, we are surfeited and poisoned. The hearts of the people turn away from the noise of militarists and warmongers. We long for the peacemakers. No war brings peace, for violence only brings more violence. O India, dare be worthy of your Gandhi. So it is actually a call for Indians to radiate the spirit of non-violence, of love, of peace in the world. If we are not taking up that holy mission, who else will be? So, young Indians, remember, it is your responsibility to radiate non-violence and peace, to be the messengers of non-violence. The world is torn with war, hatred, lack of peace, and the world wants to hear the soothing melodies of peacefulness and righteousness. And it is your holy mission to take up that responsibility. Stay home, stay safe.